Alright, this is going to be just a really short video to try and tidy up some of the code that we did in the last video. What I forgot to do was I didn't really tidy this up very much. Now I thought hard about this, but the update function has got a few things in it that we should probably remove out into a separate function, but because it's quite simple, I'm just gonna leave it as it is right now. This bit, for example, was updating the rotation, could easily be dropped out into a separate thing so that it can be improved upon or dealt with later, but we'll just leave it as it is. The important thing we need to do though is to get rid of these hard-coded values in here. So this is the actual jump speed that we have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a variable for it. So I'm just going to say jump speed, and it'll come up with a little error here, and I'm just going to say to generate a field jump speed, and it'll create this jump speed variable up here. I'm going to add in a few comments to jump speed to see how much upward speed you have, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this as a range as well. So if you do the square brackets and then range, you can put in some minimum and maximum values. So I'm just going to say that the minimum value will be 2, a floating point, and the maximum is going to be, I'll make it up to 20 as a floating point. What that does is this jump speed variable, if we go back to our code again, if you haven't seen this before, what it does is rather than create, also make it public so that it does appear inside the inspector. Jump back again, and what it does, it creates a little slider for you instead of making a basic one like you see above in the move speed. It will get a slider so you can set it to what you want. So I'm just going to put that up to 10, which is what I think I had it set at, and we're going to do another range slider for the movement speed as well. So the movement speed was this variable here, so we're just going to go range again, and then we're going to go between 2 and 10. This one's set at 5, and what I might do is also for this one set a default value of 10 as well, just so that it will appear as a default value when it comes in the inspector rather than having to set it. This one is okay as it is, and these ones are okay as they are. So nice and simple. This should look a little bit neater. What we have here is just the player movement now. It's the sliders that we can change the movement speed and jump speed just by changing those sliders. So everything works just as it did before, and it's a nice short one. We're moving on now to the next part of our gameplay, where we start to think about how to go to the next level.